Hello guys, my name is Kwang.
My name is Mark.
My name is Chang.
So today we will talk about paper, like the story of it, how to make it, the advantages and disadvantages, and the use of it, and maybe other things.
Okay, so there are a lot of things have changed and even disappeared since the last few thousand years, but there's one thing still exists for more than 10 centuries. It's paper. It was invented by the Chinese during the 8th centuries, during the Eastern Han period. Back then it was just used for delivering the king's order. Okay. By the 11th centuries, paper making was brought to Europe and then Spain in the 11th centuries. And then wood-based paper was invented by the European in the 19th centuries.
Now we're gonna talk about how paper was made in the past and now. There are many different. In the past, Thailand cuts into the mulberry tree bark and bamboo fiber mixed with water and crushed with wooden tools. Then he poured the mixture onto a flat stretch cloth and drained it. Once dry, Thailand discovers that it can be written easily and gently. And now, by the 80s, handmade paper was a mixture of camphor fiber, cotton, linen, and many other plants. At that time, Louis Robert, an employee of the paper firm in Ashton, southern Paris, invented a paper factory that could produce Mars paper. As a result, paper becomes cheap and paper residues are stored in rolls. With this invention, people need to have longer grain pulps. This is what is paper used for. We can use paper for drawing, writing, because paper is really useful so that we can use with many kind of pen. We can use for books and newspaper, and also we can fold it into many kinds of shapes, like into animals and flowers.
So now it's time to talk about advantage and disadvantage of a paper. There are four advantages that I will show here. They are first, they're useful because they are very helpful because they are as you can see now we use them a lot, nearly everywhere. And secondly, it's cheap. Thirdly, it's plentiful, and last one is it's profitable because the factory thing that Chang said before. But there's one really big advantage is about the paper is that it harms the environment. First, the two things. Firstly, is many trees are being cut down for making paper because woods from trees under the major material for making paper. And secondly, also the chemicals that used to make the paper are now just waste into the streams and rivers, and then those chemicals pollute them and change the habitats of lots of animals. So how are we gonna solve this problem? There are two ways to solve the disadvantages that I can think of. Either you can don't use much paper, which means you can use both sides. There, as I see, there are many handouts or documents that only use one side, and then the other side is being wasted, and they can still be used. They're in the document, like if they just eat one side, they just leave another side. They just like waste half, like they just waste half their money to make a paper. And if we add it up, it will be really big. Like example, like 100 sheets of paper that can be cost about like I don't know, about like 300 million dong, and you just waste half of it, which means 150,000 dollars waste, because you just use half of it. And like you can also like think of a new way to make paper that fits the advantage and solve the disadvantage, because like Jen said, there used to be a way that don't use chemicals, and now maybe then we can think of like, and now humans have a better way to make a paper, but it will like harm the environment, and maybe later we can invent a way which is used for which is we can like fit the advantage and solve the disadvantage.
This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention.